I'll start. Just some updates. You know, we're doing spring a little different this year because we're having an early spring, partly because we're putting new turf in the stadium, and we wanted to try this out. So we had 6 practices before spring break. The guys did a really good job of doing the right things over spring break and coming back ready to go. We took Monday and kind of just worked out in the weight room and knocked some rust off, and had a non-padded practice on Tuesday. Was really impressed with the intensity and desire to get better today, and we got a long way to go, but I thought today was the best practice of spring.
Why was it the best practice?
You know, we're putting some new things on defense. We're combining 2 systems on offense. Just takes a while to rep some things and get better at them. But mostly the guys just came to work today. It was a long, hard practice today, and I thought they fought through the whole thing.
How are you doing health-wise at this point in spring? Are there any injuries?
There's a few guys. We'll comment on them when we know the extent and the length of the downtime. But you know, it's spring ball, and there's been a couple things. For the most part, we're getting through healthy. There'll be a time to comment on that. You know, it's tough right now. There's a bunch of guys that we're going to be counting on next year that aren't practicing, but they're doing a good job getting some individual reps and some mental reps. So it'll be good to get those guys back too.
Is Fedoni one of those guys you can comment on?
Yeah, I'm not going to comment yet until we know extent and details of everything. So when time's appropriate, I will.
What about Xavier Betts? Has he been out there kind of?
Yeah, Xavier's not a member of the team right now.
Why is that?
He's just not a member of the team right now.
You anticipate he'll return?
It doesn't matter right now. He's not a member of the team.
Is there a reason?
He's not a member of the team. That's all I'm going to say.
At the receiver spot, otherwise, how do you feel those guys are tracking right now?
They're doing well. You know, there's some new stuff for them to learn. We got some new faces and new bodies. You know, I'm really happy with the guys that are out there practicing right now. And again, we got a couple guys down, but that's a deep group, and Mickey's doing a really good job with them. So I'm not concerned about that position at all, and look forward to seeing them continue to improve.
Are there any of those kind of younger tight ends too that have caught your eye as you look to build depth there?
Yeah, we need some of those guys to step up. Obviously, James and AJ and Borkercher. We probably highlight Bork right now. He's doing a really good job, and we need some guys to step up at that spot. So those guys are certainly getting reps with Travis out for the spring, and they need them, and they're taking advantage of them.
What's the challenge on the O-line when you have those injuries? You're trying to get guys to be cohesive as a unit, but there's also some individual work. How do you kind of work around working?
You know, I've said it a bunch, but there's just, you know, been noticeable improvement to me on some of the techniques and details and fundamentals, and they've been plugging guys into different spots. Every time I look up, there's a left tackle playing right guard and a right guard playing left tackle, and guys need to be able to play multiple things so that when we fit it all together and get the best 5 guys out there, they're ready to do it. And I think they're getting a lot of experience with that right now.
How do you feel about the running back group and anybody specific catch your eye right now?
Yeah, a lot of guys are doing well. I thought today Ramir and Anthony Grant and Yant all had a really good day. You know, we're without Gabe Irvin right now, and he's certainly going to be a part of that mix. Brody Belt can play a lot of different positions, and we're going to have some new bodies in here too come summer. So a lot of these positions will unfold down the road.
Hey, Belt was someone that Coach Joseph brought up as a really good football player, and I knew what he meant by that he's committed and he knows the offense and all those things. What have you liked about his development, not only toward the end of last season, but in spring?
You know, he's a guy that maybe when you look at him, you don't think he's going to be one of your best players, but he just goes out and makes plays. He gets open in the pass game, very good with the ball in his hands, and he can he's smart enough to learn multiple positions. So, you know, he's a guy that we can use in a lot of different ways, and he's just continued to improve since I've been here.
Was there an advantage to maybe getting some late season play against Wisconsin and Iowa when guys got banged up and you got to see him a little bit more?
I think so. You know, we were kind of forced to use him late in the year with some guys banged up, and honestly there wasn't a drop-off, and he did some pretty special things. So I think he's earned the right to be in the mix and get a chance to play.
Is it still mostly Hickson, Piper at center, or what's that sort of looking like?
Yeah, right now it's been Hicks and Piper. They're both doing a really good job. And again, we'll have to see how that unfolds. Both those guys are capable of playing guard too.
Did Chubba come back as you hoped? I know you were kind of holding him out for the break.
Chubba's doing everything other than live reps right now, so he's getting a lot of 7-on-7 and individual work. Looking forward to getting him in some team reps too.
Are you about where you? It's probably hard to track, but are you about where you hoped you'd be as far as what you thought going into spring with the new staff gelling together and everything?
I think so. There's hiccups, some things we're running that I don't know that are really good that Whip has, and I scripted a period, and those guys, some of the new guys weren't familiar with that today, and there's just going to be a process of that and mixing the two things together. I really like some of the things that Coach Whipple and several of the other guys have brought to the table, and if we do a good job taking the best of a lot of stuff, I think it'll make us better.
What does Borkacher do at tight end? What do you really think as a young guy?
He just came on, never said a word when he first got here. Has done a really good job in the weight room, getting his body better, and just continued to improve. He's doing good things in the run game and pass game right now, and there's other guys too. AJ Rollins is coming along, and James is coming along, and Goodwin's coming along. We just got some guys nicked up right now, with Travis not practicing and Fedoni not practicing, and Chance Brewington not practicing right now, and Hickman's not practicing right now. So like I said, those guys are getting a lot of reps, and they need them because we're going to have to count on some guys to step up.
Scott, is there anything you've learned about your team over the course of these past few weeks that maybe is different than what you expected when you assembled your roster for this year?
I'm happy with the leadership right now, and when it's a team-run team, it's more powerful than if the coaches are setting the rules and holding everybody accountable. And we had pretty good leadership on defense last year. We had some leaders on offense, but they weren't real vocal, and that's kind of changed. So I'm pleased with the standard that's being set and the accountability.
How different is that leadership dynamic with the transfer portal entered into that, where guys come in?
It's different, but a transfer portal kid isn't like getting a freshman that's not able to step up and be a leader as an 18-year-old. So, these transfers come in and they're used to being leaders other places, and they have to kind of earn the respect first, but they're accustomed to doing that, so I think they fit into the role a little quicker.
Coach, can you comment on, it sounds like some of your players, your former players are doing really well in pro day and combine.
I'm excited about it. We haven't had as many draft picks the last few years as Nebraska's used to having, and I think we got a good crop this year. I think there's a couple guys that are climbing the board from what I heard from some scouts, and that's always an exciting day to see guys that you spent 3, 4, 5 years with accomplish their dream and play in the NFL. So we'll be watching and rooting for all those guys.
Okay. All right.
Thanks.